On January 10th, 1776, one piece of paper told Americans that they were enemies. Another said that they could be a nation. One came from a king and the other came from a man who owned nothing. My name's Joe Wilson, and today I want to tell you about Thomas Paine and common sense, and how these 46 pages tipped the scales toward American independence. Paine was born in England, and he was poor. He failed at his father's business. His first wife died in childbirth along with their child, and he watched his second marriage collapse. He worked as a tax collector, but he was fired because he wouldn't take money from the poor. He lost everything to debt until he met Benjamin Franklin, who helped him escape to America. He saw the colonies being crushed by British taxes, and he knew the crown protected wealth over people. When the battles of Lexington and Concord happened, he realized that the British would rather spill colonial blood than negotiate. He knew they had passed the point of no return. Published in January 1776, Common Sense didn't just attack British policy, it attacked the monarchy directly, saying hereditary rulers could never understand the common people because they were born into privilege, and that America needed to declare independence immediately, that any further attempts at reconciliation with Britain would only make things worse. It said the colonies were already strong economically. They'd be even stronger without England's endless mercantile wars, putting them against other countries like France and Spain. It advocated for a republican government based on popular sovereignty, written constitutions, and the consent of the government. Paine knew that popular support was really needed to declare independence. And in what I think is the most important part of Common Sense, he outlined 4 kinds of people who wanted reconciliation. First, there were those who stood to benefit. He said they couldn't be trusted. Then there were the weak who could not see, the prejudiced who will not see. And finally, he said that there were the moderates who, because of poor understanding and bad decision-making, would be the cause of more suffering than the first 3. This is who Paine directed his pamphlet to. And this is who would tip the balance toward independence and who would eventually swell the ranks of the revolution. Common Sense was published on January 10th, 1776. On its own, it would have garnered the support needed for independence. But on the very same day it was published, King George III's proclamation of rebellion was also printed in the newspapers. It was in response to a peaceful petition for reconciliation that had been sent to the king a few months earlier by the Continental Congress. In the king's speech, the colonies were officially declared enemies of Britain. The brutality and tyranny of the king's speech fully confirmed everything Common Sense was warning about. The king had proved Paine right, and everyone could see it. Common Sense is the most important pamphlet in American history, not because of what it said, but because of who it spoke to. It wasn't written in lofty language meant for educated elites. It was written so that common people could understand it. And once the people understood, they took action, and they changed history. Thank you.